All right, so that's the sound of Tom C with the song Coup de Marteau. Yeah, typical Ivorian song, heavy, heavy, heavy jam song. I'm sure it's playing everywhere in the pubs, the bars, the terraces, the marquees, wherever it is in Abidjan, San Pedro, Korogo, Yopougon, Yamoussoukro, wherever it is. This is the song that is hot. Let's get to Cote d'Ivoire and let me find out if my guest on the Zoom is a fan of the coup de marteau. Jon Boafo is joining us once again. John, how are you doing? Bonjour, and how is Abidjan?
Bonjour, bonjour à toi. Bonjour to everyone in Ghana. Yeah, everything is good in Côte d'Ivoire. We're really excited about the matchup that they have today against Nigeria.
Okay.
With regards to the song is playing everywhere in all the marquees,
I see.
in all the clubs.
Wow.
And even at the stadium, so even at the opening game, we had that game and people were there dancing,
Wonderful.
playing, excited about it.
I mean, just a final bit on the song. When was it released? When did Coup de Marteau come out? Was it just before the competition?
It came out just before the competition, or at least that's when I started hearing it everywhere.
Okay.
And it's really been present. People on TikTok have been using it like crazy for all the videos that they're doing. So everyone's really props to Tamsir for such a great song.
I see. It's a wonderful song. It's a lovely song. I like it. Let's talk about the game. So after the high of beating Guinea-Bissau, now there's a big test for Les Éléphants. They have to take on the mighty Nigeria. Before we get into what could potentially happen, I mean, you've been going through some of the newspapers. I'm sure you've read the quotes. You've seen some of the images. What have the players and the Ivorian coaches been saying about this particular encounter?
I think they're very conscious about the ramifications of winning or losing or even drawing the game. So they're prepared to the best that they can to ensure that they'll be able to perform and do their best to be able to make it out of the group. If they win, they're basically guaranteed to get out of the group, especially with the rules of 4 of the 3rd best teams in the groups also being picked out to get out of the group. So they want to be able to perform, and the government has also helped them. So today is a little bit of a holiday in Côte d'Ivoire. Schools are out, so none of the children have gone to school. And then most of the companies are doing what they call journée continue. So journée continue is you start early, you work a bit, maybe about an hour earlier than normal, and then you work through lunchtime, and after lunch, so around 2 or 1, depending on the company, you can go home. So a lot of people are expected to be in the marquees to support the team. A lot of people are also expected to go to Ebimpe Stadium to also support the team. So the government and everyone is really doing their part to ensure that Les Éléphants perform well and beat Nigeria later on today.
I see. I mean, you talked about the ramifications, and I understand because it is the biggest game they will play in the group, and it is against Nigeria. On the side of the fans, what have they been saying? How are they thinking about this game? You know, like the team, are they also conscious of the fact that this is Nigeria and they could potentially cause a problem this evening?
Yeah, everyone in the country is really conscious in terms of the fans. They're very conscious of the kind of team that we're going up against. If we look at the attacking force that Nigeria has, if you think of the likes of Victor Osimhen or even Chukwueze, everyone knows that Nigeria has the potential of scoring lots of goals. So we need to ensure that the team is compact, doesn't concede goals, but also be confident in the team that they have. The Ivory Coast team will probably see the return of Sébastien Haller and also Semen in Adringer. So they have their own attacking force to be able to counter or even dominate the play and score some goals. So everyone here is really confident that they should be able to pull off a win later on today at 5 p.m. And let's see how it goes.
I see. Between day one or the last time the Ivorians played and today, which player has stood out in terms of like the fan favorite? Is there any player the fans have gravitated towards as you know as their favorite, or who's like the star player in the Ivorian team in the eyes of the fans?
Well, Sekou Fofana scored the first goal to open off this AFCON 2023, and since then in the Maquis or even the streets, a lot of people have been talking about Sekou Fofana. Each and every fan has their own favorite player, from Simon Adegara to Haller to even some of the other players. But it seems like because Sekou Fofana scored that first goal and then also hit that ball smoothly and then it hit the crossbar, people have been really talking about him quite a bit. So I think the battle in the midfield will be something that's key, and Sekou Fofana will also have his play to, his say to ensure that Les Éléphants come out with a win today.
All right. You mentioned Sébastien Haller and Simon Adingra. We saw Crasso score that wonderful goal in the other game. Do you think Haller gets straight into the team, or he'll start off from the bench and then he gets introduced later?
I think it's more likely that he will get introduced later. The coach, Jean-Louis Gasset, will not want to upset the apple cart. They played well, mainly in the second half. They played well, and they were able to get the win in the first match. So why not start with the same team and maybe make some tweaks? I think that probably Serge Aurier will most likely start in the match today at 5 p.m. But other than that, that's the only change that I foresee from the starting lineup against Nigeria today. All
right, finally, John, give us a prediction. I mean, Côte d'Ivoire is your adopted country now. Can you give us a prediction? How do you think this game will play out? And will you be at the stadium to watch, though?
So yeah, Côte d'Ivoire is my adopted country, but I'm at heart, I'm a Ghanaian. So I've decided to go to the Ghana versus Nigeria. I said versus Nigeria. Ghana
Egypt
versus Egypt game at 8 p.m. tonight.
Okay.
I believe that Les Éléphants will come out with a win today. Let's say 2-1. A goal from Crasso, a goal from Sébastien Haller, and then maybe Osimhen will score a goal.
I see, Octopus John. I didn't know you were dabbling in precise predictions, but John, thank you so much, and we'll talk later. Have a good day, and à plus.
For having me.
Okay. All right, so that was Jon Boafo.